Hello, let's take a look at our new dashboard layout customization features. With these features, you can tweak and adjust many elements of your dashboard's look and feel. Let's take a look at a few examples. Here's one. Here's the same dashboard with a different custom style. And here's a third custom style. And you can see that we can adjust things like the title style, the font type and size of main text, chart headers, and even pivot table and table text. All different here. So let's take a look at how to adjust this. I'm an administrator of this dashboard, and I will go to the layout options here. And now, in addition to the classic, framed, and story themes, you can also customize a theme. This opens up very many options for us to take a look at. First, we've got our text options, where we can adjust titles, headings, text, as well as chart headers, chart footers, chart fonts, table fonts, and pivot table fonts. Starting with the title, I can take a look at the sample, choose between a number of nice fonts, adjust the font size, the standard font size for a title in my dashboard, as well as the font weight if I want to make it thicker or thinner, as well as the font color, maybe just a standard black color in this case. And then all the titles in my dashboard will be adjusted. Similarly for text, I can choose a font, change the size, and that will substantially change the styling of my entire dashboard. With these headers and text, I can also adjust other parameters such as line height, paragraph spacing between different paragraphs of text, and list line height if I have a list in my text. I've also adjusted the chart header font here, so if you want to have a totally different font for your charts, you can do that. And the same applies to other things like the fonts of your legend and the fonts of a pivot table. Maybe we would want a different font for our pivot table to make it the font more visible, larger, and so on. So this gives us a far richer set of options to adjust our dashboard. Then we can take a look at our spacing options. First of all, we've got outer padding. This refers to the padding between the blocks and the side of the page. If I make that 0, we expand our dashboard to reach the corners and edges, or I can push things closer to the middle to mimic more of what we had as a story style. Then you can adjust the margins and the padding of individual blocks. So the margins are the gaps between blocks, and the padding is the space inside them. So here, if I add the bottom padding, we'll see that the white space here increases. And if I adjust the margin, I see that the gap after the bottom of a block is expanded by this amount of pixels. Same for the left and right. So if I were to remove the margins, for example, you'll see that our blocks all merge into each other. Or we can leave the horizontal adjacency as it is, and the vertical gaps like that. We can also adjust the block border radius. Border radius means the rounding of the edges of these blocks. So if I change the radius to 15 pixels, see that our borders are much more rounded like this. That's the spacing options. Then we can adjust colors. So we can set the whole background color of our dashboard as we prefer. And we can set the background color of our blocks. Find a harmonious combination if we like. Now that I've got these, I see that there's a weirdness when these are pushed together, so maybe I will add some margins on the left and right. I think this looks a little bit better to me. We can also create a custom color palette, which will be available whenever we make specific changes. So I've defined a red and a purple color. If I go to the regular editing and then change the color of this text, I'll see my custom colors are here at the top. So if you have certain brand colors or similar that you want to reuse a lot, it's now easy to store them and keep using them consistently. And then we have this responsive layout set of options, which was there before. And this basically governs the behavior of your dashboard on different screen sizes. So this first option says that if your screen width is under 600 pixels, then collapse the whole dashboard into a single column. So now we have our two columns. If I go to a phone where the width is 360, so under 600, we will have everything collapsed into one column like this. Similarly, we can say, when should quick filters be hidden? Not at all, or so on. I don't have any quick filters defined. And what's the minimum width before scrolling or scaling? So what's the difference? If I have a scrolling option, it retains the original size of my widgets, and on a small device I would then kind of scroll across my screen like this. And if it's scaling, it just means that everything shows up smaller on a smaller screen. So you can decide what's more useful for analysis on different screen sizes for the particular dashboard that you are designing, and so on. So a number of these scaling options, and then you can preview them by looking at a sample phone, tablet, laptop, or desktop screen size. And finally, once you've created a theme, a customization of this style that you're happy with, for example, an organizational brand style with a certain font and sizes, you can then download this custom theme and upload it into another dashboard, immediately applying all of these style settings above. So you can create a consistent experience of dashboards across your organization. And that's basically it. Hopefully this was useful. Please have a look, experiment, play around, and send us feedback if you've got any. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.